Hi everyone, this is Venus Brown. Today I'm going to be reacting to The Crown Season 5, Episode 1, called Queen Victoria Syndrome. Big time jump, new cast of characters, no more Olivia Colman. Makes me sad. But I get to see her a little bit every now and then on Heartstopper, so that's cool. And I think as for a lot of the rest of us, the first time I saw Olivia Colman was on Doctor Who, so like all three very different character and very different type of show. Now, this season is much more recent than the other seasons, so most likely I will remember things a little bit better. I have watched every episode, just watched season 5 a lot more recently than the rest of the seasons. Let's begin.
Royal yacht. I hope that this brand new vessel, like your brand new queen, will prove to be dependable and constant, capable of weathering any storm. Naming this ship Britannia.
Oh, that looks like a system similar to what I worked on when I was in the military. Their computer system.
Again? Still getting the aches on the balls of the feet? This time you spend on your feet, the better.
Occupational hazard, I'm afraid.
Does she have good, comfortable shoes that will support her feet and stuff?
Balmoral, your favourite home, would you say?
Probably my second. That's a rather personal question.
I do apologise, Mama.
So it's the ship that's
when
more
talking
important
about the
to her.
Queen, they described you as young, energetic, modern, empathetic. And when asked, almost half believe you would make an excellent king and would support an early abdication by the Queen in your favour.
The story is running when?
As you know, a big part of your appeal as future king is the prospect of the Princess of Wales as Queen. Briefing one or two friendly newspapers that it's a second honeymoon.
And here it is, the intro for The Crown, Season 5. If you like this content, you can go ahead and click that thumbs up button. If you like, you can click the bell to subscribe. And if you click all, you'll get notifications whenever new content is loaded. You can share it or even save it to watch later if you like. That's totally up to you. It's no one else's decision, just yours. And now, here it comes. The Crown.
Shall we give them some of the old magic?
Well, come on then, let's blow them away.
On to Capri, then down the Amalfi Coast,
They're so pretty.
Olbia. Were there any other requests?
Some beaches, perhaps.
There will, of course, be beaches along the way. Noisy water sports.
And shopping.
Shopping.
It's possible some people might like to go shopping one day.
Who,
Lily's got
Show of
awesome
hands, would
stuff to
anyone
shop for, so
apart from Diana, like to go shopping?
or you can entertain your wife on her ID.
Me too.
I remember when we went to Italy, I was like, oh, my oldest
go
kid would
shopping.
love some of the stuff here. And this is the Britannica, right?
Charles and Diana seem to be the happy couple again.
I would never assume that. What is written in the papers is not actually reality. It's just the presentation that you guys have asked to be presented.
One last day cutting ribbons in Morecambe, then feet up for the summer.
State-of-the-art dairy complex is testament to the continuing vitality of British udders.
It shouldn't come as a surprise she's falling apart. She's a creature of another age. Anyway, she's obsolete.
Don't say that. What are the options?
Well, we've trouble with the main engine. Starboard boilers out of service. Sentimentally, I think we'd all prefer to stick with her.
I should say.
It's the first time I've started to consider the unthinkable.
What's that?
A replacement.
Bye, Charles. We'll miss you while we're having all the fun.
It's extraordinary how two people's understanding of fun could be so wholly different. I know the Queen thinks the Royal Yacht is perfect in every way, but as an intimate space for newlyweds, it's like a floating observation tank. awkward silence and stilted conversation between Bride and Gloom glaringly obvious to each and
Bride
every
and
one of the
Gloom.
200 crew.
That's a good description of him. Gloom.
You just say Bride and Gloom.
Did I? So the irony is, I'm the only person this marriage does make gloomy. It seems to lift the rest of the world up.
Because you are
we're
weird
together
and don't
public.
see any value in your
Can't
wife
deny it,
when
it's match the
she's
perfect
like
team.
very valuable. You
Private.
knew you were marrying somebody you didn't love. The least you could do is try to find the value in her that actually
Everything you've been
exists.
through with
Let me comb her hair last week. First time since it's grown back. Do you know it's come back curly? Found myself slightly ashamed to think
Yep.
I actually
My
preferred it that way.
aunt, when she went through chemo, her hair grew back in curly. I had my accident. They shaved all my hair off except for a stupid rat tail at the back of my head. When it grew back in, it grew in flat and limp, which I always had wavy hair. It's better now than what it was, but when it first grew back in, it took several years to get any like bounce and lift back in it.
Welcome aboard, Your Royal Highness.
Miss Margaret or Anne?
Make sure the Sunday Times is removed.
Oh,
Egged.
Move!
Mummy.
Anne.
Sorry, ma'am, you can't read that.
Why not?
It's not today's, it's yesterday's.
But
It's
yesterday was
yesterday's.
Saturday, and that, I think we can all agree, is the Sunday Times.
I mean last week's.
What?
But this is today's Sunday Telegraph, today's Mail on Sunday, and the latest Racing Post.
Oh, yes, please.
This. It's outrageous. She never stops, she never complains, she never puts a foot wrong. She's utterly magnificent, and they print rubbish like this.
You've seen the Sunday Times. Oh, morning, Robert.
Good morning, Your Majesty.
Apparently it has been delivered.
I'll look into it.
Y'all
When you
need to
find
come
it,
up with
I'll
better
be on deck.
stories for this stuff that they thought they could get
Well,
away
saying
with
the
this.
articles had an impact would be an
Something.
understatement.
To arrange a meeting with the Prime Minister. Think of a suitable pretext.
She's still a sniveling little whiny baby,
Look! It's a
even a
whale!
whole season later.
Look at the way it's surfacing. It's a minky. Probably smell it before we see it again if we get any closer. Their blow smells of rotten cabbages.
A stinky minky.
A stinky minky.
Is she a beauty?
You say so, dear.
It's one of the last manned lighthouses in Scotland.
Why don't we pay her a visit? Really? Must we? A bit of exercise is good for the figure. At our age, the weight does not stay off by itself. Come on.
She's like, but they just told me to stay off my feet.
New query.
Tim? No, he's been with us for a while.
How come I never noticed?
Because you're married.
Only technically. What's he like?
Reliable, sensible, agreeable. I think we ought to get back to lighthouses.
Those beacons of light in an otherwise black and hopeless night. Lonely mariner, they are not forgotten. And will soon find land and home.
Opportunity for us to be together with the boys as a family. And I know you struggle with that sort of thing. You even agreed to do the photo call today, requested by your people so the lie could be paraded to the world's media about what an adoring husband you are on one condition.
What's that?
That you actually are one.
I've never felt that because of my background I should not be a conservative.
Precisely. You not only refuse to deny your contradictions, you don't see them as contradictions. Which makes you a far
Yeah,
more
you're bringing
interesting,
them up as
complex,
contradictions.
Queen Victoria syndrome.
Just a pole, sir.
Dangerous to ignore them.
Equally dangerous to be guided by them.
Mm-hmm. Yep, we've got presidential elections to show that.
Dynamism, his intellect, his popular appeal made his reign a triumph.
Yeah, but from what I've heard, that has not been the case for
I'm
you so
saying-
far.
What a pity it was. What a waste. Vision wasn't incorporated earlier. It would have been so good.
Or maybe they just gave him time to
Everybody.
mature. Gain a little bit of wisdom.
Judge for yourself whether this institution that we all care about so deeply is in safe hands.
Self-centered. It's all about him, what he thinks and what he wants. This representation of him. Is that how he is in real life? I don't know, but that's Margaret.
Have you been for a nice walk?
We have, and I haven't strangled her yet, which is a miracle.
I haven't strangled her yet.
Doesn't she look pretty, Mum?
She's still alive. How long did she live?
To see me, ma'am.
I did. Why is everyone being odd?
You don't want to know.
It started on the Royal Yacht.
Mm-hmm.
What started, ma'am?
Everyone being odd. Like right now. Mm-hmm.
Am I?
Oh, yes.
What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
An unkind, silly, inaccurate article in the Sunday Times. Not worth thinking about.
Don't you think I ought to be the judge of that? Do you still have a copy?
When your simpering, spoiled child is your biggest threat.
Freedom and peace, making one forget the world and its sad turmoil.
But sometimes you need to remember the world and deal with its sad turmoil.
Victoria and me, clear that a small refit, teeny tiny little refreshment and refurbishment is required to keep her in tip-top shape.
Teeny tiny.
I am aware the costs, that will be a formality.
Nope.
The government spending public money on the refurbishment of a yacht might backfire on us both.
Well, look at her biting her lip.
When I came to the throne, all my palaces were inherited. Only Britannia have I truly been able to make my own. Floating, seagoing expression of me. I have made very few requests, let alone demands, in return for the service I have given this country. People don't just take it seriously. They do as I ask, without question.
I understand.
I'm afraid the real fun only starts when I go to bed. Can I count on you for a full report in the morning?
You can, Your Majesty.
So what is gonna go down while she goes to sleep?
The refit to Britannia. That is what she asked you for. Sometimes these old things are too costly to keep repairing.
You dance with me before I scream. I don't give any of us more than 6 months. What happens then when the family falls apart? Say the institution falls apart. And then...
This is my background.
The House of Windsor should be binding the nation together. Setting
But
an
they can't
example
bind
of
themselves together.
idealised- The senior royals seem dangerously deluded and out of touch. The junior royals, feckless, entitled, and lost. And the Prince of Wales, impatient for a bigger role in public life, fails to appreciate that his one great asset is his wife. It's a situation that cannot help but affect the stability of the country, because it's all about to erupt. On my watch.
All right, everybody. That was episode 1 of season 5. Queen's getting older. Her ship's getting older. Breaking down. And her son just can't seem to wait to get rid of her. It made me feel really about some of the ageist shit that the prince was saying. Just like, God, he has no freaking tact. Anyway, I will see you next week for season 5, episode 2 of The Crown. See you then. Bye.
Till next time, See you when I see you. If you like this video, please click the like button. If you want more content, click subscribe. If you click that little bell and click all, then you'll get more content notifications.